Eye News at 6.
Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
And welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Morgan Sims.
And I'm Brady Huneycutt. Thank you for joining us.
International Women's Day is this Saturday, and the Auburn University International Cultural Center hosted their Women's Lunch Seminar to celebrate. Eagle Eye's Brady Huneycutt attended and tells us more.
I'm here at the Melton Student Center, where in this room, the Auburn University International Cultural Center will be hosting a lunch seminar commemorating International Women's Day. Faculty, staff, and students are invited to celebrate the achievements of women and raise awareness for the ongoing fight for gender equality. The seminar was a collaboration with the Women's and Gender Studies program. Director of Women's and Gender Studies program, Dr. Angelo, moderated the panel and facilitated discussion. We spoke with panelist Courtney Furlong and asked her the topics for discussion and what she hoped they would accomplish.
We're celebrating International Women's Day today, and so we were talking about what it means to be a woman in leadership, a woman in academia, what are some of the challenges that we've faced. For me, myself, and the research that I do, and the people that I work with survivors of sex trafficking, and I've done that for about 20 years, and so I'm very familiar with not only the challenges that we have as women in our careers, but also the greater overarching vulnerabilities that we have in society as a whole. One of the things that's really great about working with university students is that everyone here is going to be a future leader. In whatever industry, whatever government level job that they're going to be working in, they can start catalyzing the things that are necessary for women to have those vulnerabilities decreased. So whether that's, working in a business or whether that's working as a policymaker, every one of us can work together to create a safer world for women and for children as well. And so when people are aware of the challenges that we have, when people are aware of the policy opportunities that we have, they can start working within their sphere of influence to make the changes that are necessary, because it's a societal issue and there's so many different systems. We talked about systems of oppression. There's so many systems in all levels of society that need to be changed in order for those vulnerabilities to be decreased.
The panelists may have been the stars of the show, but the seminar was organized and facilitated by the International Cultural Center. We spoke with Director of Intercultural Education, Adiola Faimi, and asked her to tell us a little bit about the seminar and what types of people they were hoping to attract.
This seminar occurs every year. Seminars that discuss events around the world. The International Women's Day is a global event that happens for all over the world, and we just wanted Auburn to be able to celebrate and commemorate. We always want our students to be globally aware of what's going on. We want Auburn graduates to be globally competitive and able to exist anywhere. And so International Women's Day occurs, like I said, all over the world, and as global citizens, they should be able to relate to it. We want the students, we want faculty, we want community members, and anybody actually, but anybody in the Auburn community.
For Eagle Eye TV, I'm Brady Huneycutt.
This past Tuesday, March 4th, Spanish students were invited to a meeting of Club de Español from 4:05 to 5:05, in which they discussed and listened to music and art in Spanish. The meeting took place in the Haley Center and was one of many Club de Español events that aim to, quote, offer a community-building, inclusive, and culturally aware space where those interested in the Spanish language, along with its unique and diverse populations, have an opportunity to practice conversation skills and grow in their understanding of the Hispanic community, unquote. According to the club's AU Involve page, students watched and listened to music videos from Spanish-speaking artists such as Bad Bunny, and discussed the linguistic and cultural significance of the music and accompanying videos. When asked why engaging with music and art from other cultures is beneficial for Auburn students, President of Club de Español, Anthony Espinal's answer was clear.
Auburn University has an amazing Spanish department, so the way that we supplement that is through listening through daily music that will really teach the students the way that speakers speak comfortably at home and what is the social dynamics. Today we did Poesía y Música, and basically if you listen to music you can really see the social dynamic, the social aspect of Spanish, and that's really us just telling our students that any language, including Spanish, doesn't happen in a bubble, and that we can learn through music what that social life and that social political reality is for Spanish speakers.
Last Tuesday, on the steps of Cater Hall, students gathered to hear the call-outs of those chosen to serve as involvement ambassadors for the 2025-2026 school year. These students went through a competitive interview process, with only 30 new ambassadors being chosen. Involvement Ambassadors President Gabriela Camalada tells us about their roles and responsibilities.
So the involvement ambassadors are kind of a liaison between student involvement as well as the student body. We're here to help students find their place on campus. There's over 500 plus organizations, so it's very easy to get overwhelmed by everything. But we're really here to help students have that personal touch and really find their path here in campus.
Starting the night off strong with Auburn's 11-time national champion, the ladies love him and men want to be him. Last Friday, February 28th, was Aubie's 46th birthday, and the Auburn family celebrated the mascot out in front of the Student Center at his honorary statue. Let's take a look.
It's everyone's favorite Tiger's birthday. On Friday, February 28th, students gathered on the concourse from 11 to 1 to celebrate Aubie turning 46.
The festivities, which were organized by Aubie's directors, included decorations, treats, a t-shirt sale, birthday accessories, and of course, Aubie himself. Students lined up for a chance to take photos with Aubie and wish him a happy birthday. Members of SGA helped staff the event to celebrate. Kaylee LaPlante, Director of Outreach for the Aubie program, spoke with me about what went into making this celebration happen.
We have a team of about 9 people who have helped us just make the birthday really special for students in the community. We've gotten food and lemonade, and we have bubble machines and all the awesome things that just make this day super special and fun for students.
Although Aubie officially turned 46 on Friday, his history actually goes back a bit further. According to the Auburn University Student Affairs website, Aubie originally existed as a cartoon character created by Phil Neal, an artist for the Birmingham Post-Herald, and began his career as Auburn's Goodwill Ambassador by appearing on Auburn's football programs starting on October 3, 1959. He continued to appear regularly on program covers until 1976. James Lloyd brought Aubie to life as the first friend of Aubie in the Birmingham Jefferson County Civic Center as the Tigers competed in the SEC basketball tournament on February 28, 1979, 20 years after his creation. Today, Aubie stands as a mascot legend, holding titles such as the first collegiate inductee into the Mascot Hall of Fame in 2006, the Capital One Mascot of the Year in 2014, and an 11-time UCA national champion. Although Aubie's fame may stretch well beyond the plains, his meaning here in Auburn is simple.
Aubie is everything to the Auburn community, to this campus. Aubie is the spirit of Auburn. He's the Goodwill Ambassador of this university. Celebrating him is so awesome, and I'm so glad I've gotten to be able to facilitate such a magical day for everyone.
SGA volunteer Ty Torbert gave a similar answer when asked what Aubie means to him.
Aubie is not only an embodiment of this university, but also an embodiment of the Auburn family. And it's awesome to be able to celebrate him today and kind of recognize the 46 years of his presence and the awesome impact he's made on so many students to this point.
I'm Alice Estes, Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
This past Saturday, friends and family of Auburn alumnus Drew Dauphin gathered at the Church in the Pines to celebrate his life. The Auburn community was heartbroken to hear that Drew was killed in the New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans. Those attending were able to sign a wakeboard, which represents Drew's love for the lake and wakeboarding. Friends and family wore buttons to commemorate Drew's life and legacy. Drew's friend, along with a pastor from the Church of the Highlands, were among those who spoke on Drew and his legacy.
From the moment I met Drew freshman year at Auburn, his magnetic positivity attracted me, and I knew I wanted to surround myself with people like him.
Drew's life continues to matter. Let us all let it continue to matter by carrying forward his legacy. Let's make others feel seen. Not just today, but for the rest of our lives. Let's care for others the way Drew would. And let's carry forward his legacy.
When we come back, you'll get a weather update from Eagle Eye's Lucy Anderson. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. My name is Lucy Anderson, here with your weather outlook for this week on the plains. It looks like it's finally starting to warm up here in Auburn, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say it's about time. We have a continuation of today's sunny blue skies through tomorrow with a high of 58, but before that we will see temperatures as low as 38 in the early hours of the morning. It seems as though it's going to be a dreary weekend with a chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. There's definitely a silver lining because the high on Monday is 63 and only up from there. It looks like there will be a few beautiful days next week, beginning Tuesday with a low of 44, but a high all the way up at 70 degrees. We can expect basically the same thing from Wednesday. Looks like we're going to get perfect spring break weather. Now let's look a little deeper into this weekend. It seems like a guarantee of at least a little bit of rain throughout with a 35% chance on Saturday and a more extreme 70% chance on Sunday. I, for one, am hoping that changes, but at least we can count on the warmer weather. That's all I've got for you today. Again, from Eagle Eye News, I'm Lucy Anderson, and when we come back, we'll get a national news update from the desk.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. Amid a backdrop of conflicts abroad and economic concerns back home, President Donald Trump delivered an address to Congress Tuesday night, pushing Republicans to help turn his agenda into law. The GOP currently holds slim majorities in both chambers. Julia Benbrook breaks down the night's big moments.
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Donald Trump delivering his first speech to a joint session of Congress since retaking the White House.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
While Democrats mostly waved signs in protest, a disruption came early in the night, with Speaker Mike Johnson ordering the removal of Democratic lawmaker Al Green from the House chamber.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
The speech comes the same day Trump enacted 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada and doubled his tariff on Chinese goods to 20%, sparking concerns of a trade war.
Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that.
Trump has made a whirlwind of moves since his inauguration, including firing thousands of federal workers in an effort to reduce the size of the federal government.
We'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars. And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Several of those fired federal workers attended the speech as guests of Democratic lawmakers. Their party's rebuttal delivered by Michigan Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
America wants change, but there's a responsible way to make change and a reckless way. And we can make that change without forgetting who we are as a country.
In Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Ash Wednesday services are underway around the world, including in Vatican City, where Pope Francis remains hospitalized. The 88-year-old pontiff is battling double pneumonia. Wednesday, the Vatican said his condition stayed stable throughout the day, but his clinical picture remains, quote, complex. He suffered respiratory failure on Monday. Vatican officials say the Pope took part in the blessings of the holy ashes and received the Eucharist. A cardinal performed Ash Wednesday services in Vatican City.
There are new details in the death of a Louisiana college student. Caleb Wilson died in late February after being dropped off at a hospital by his fraternity brothers. His death is currently under investigation by Baton Rouge police. As Chris Nakamoto reports, sources have now come forward to say that fraternity members lied about what happened that night.
20-year-old Caleb Wilson's death did not have to happen, according to sources with direct knowledge of it. The scholar and member of the Human Jukebox had a bright future ahead of him. The I-Team learned tonight Wilson was among at least 9 pledges in a line during an unsanctioned off-campus fraternity ritual when each one was allegedly forced to take blows to the chest. Those sources say Wilson collapsed and began having a seizure, and that's when a cover-up ensued. When Wilson was hit, some of those fraternity members brought him to the hospital, and it was doctors at Baton Rouge General who called police about Wilson's death. That's when Baton Rouge police opened an investigation. Initially, police were told the incident happened at a Breck Park on North Sherwood. But tonight, the I-Team learned that was all a fabrication. The Pledges and the fraternity brothers were never at that Breck Park at all, and met at an off-site location to concoct the story about the Breck Park. Omega Sci-Fi issued a statement last week extending profound sorrow and condolences for Wilson's death, and said they are working to gather accurate information. According to the East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office, the cause and manner of death are currently undetermined and pending further study and testing.
When we come back, you'll get an entertainment update from Eagle Eye's Caroline Burrows. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. I'm Caroline Burrows, here to give you an update on all things entertainment. It's time to celebrate the music genre we all know, from the training field to the football stadium. Last Tuesday was National Marching Band Day. The day is set aside to honor the genre's musicians and composers as well as its performers. The regular and powerful rhythm of the music keeps marching bands, from military to high school and college and others, in unison and on the move. Bands are of course staples at football games and parades. To celebrate the day, you can support a local marching band group. Don't forget to share your experience on social media with hashtag March4th and hashtag MarchingMusicDay. A hot pink-colored poodle is on the loose and leads to hour-long pursuit, and a toddler calls 911 for emergency donuts, and police deliver. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
A pretty and pink pooch led authorities in New Jersey on an exhaustive hours-long chase spanning land and sea. Molly the poodle led oodles of officers on a hot pink hot pursuit.
It was like chasing cotton candy.
After reportedly wriggling off leash, running through traffic, and then jumping in the Passaic River, where she reportedly swam roughly the length of a football field.
She was a bike ride away from a triathlon.
4 hours, 2 police departments, and 8 firefighters in boats later, the pink pup was back on dry ground, safe, sound, and yes, still sassy. Another dramatic dog rescue unfolded in a remote rocky area after authorities were alerted to a dog clinging to a craggy cliff in California. A total of 3 responding fire companies were involved after it was determined that initial resources on hand were insufficient for the rescue. The Susanville Fire Department says they ultimately set up a rope system lowering a crew member down to the trapped dog. The pair then made their way safely to level ground, and the dog was checked out by vets and confirmed to be unharmed before being delivered to a local animal shelter. Finally, from dogs to donuts. You may have seen a recent story of an Oklahoma toddler gone viral for getting a hold of a cell phone and dialing 911 for emergency donuts.
911, donuts. 911, an emergency.
An emergency
Donuts.
Can I talk to Mom?
Hey, who among us hasn't needed an emergency donut from time to time? Am I right? Don't judge. The Moore Police Department certainly didn't. They instead solved this toddler's emergency, later treating him and his big brother to a delightful doorstep donut delivery. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
A former child star is speaking out about something she says affects every young woman who grows up under public scrutiny. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
I grew up in front of the world, and for some reason, people can't seem to grow up with me.
Millie Bobby Brown is calling out members of the press for bullying her over her physical appearance. The 21-year-old star of Stranger Things and the upcoming The Electric State posted this Instagram video citing specific articles in which adult writers are spending their time dissecting my face, my body, my choices. She adds, "I refuse to apologize for growing up." Chappell Roan is going country. The Best New Artist Grammy winner says she's releasing her first country song, The Giver, on Thursday, March 13th. It's her first new single in nearly a year.
Are you fighting about the tweet?
The tweet? I was a little drunk.
He was at a wedding, and someone heard him make a sexist joke.
Which one?
Probably just one of his usual ones.
Which wedding?
What was the joke then?
I don't remember.
A journalist's career is on the line in Douglas is Cancelled. Hugh Bonneville, Karen Gillan, Nick Mohammed, and Alex Kingston star in the limited series, debuting Thursday on BritBox. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That's all I have for you in the world of entertainment. Let's send it back to Morgan and Brady at the desk.
Thank you, Caroline. We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Morgan Sims.
And I'm Brady Huneycutt. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.